So there we go, we're all bolted up and whatnot. I got the muffler pretty well cleaned up. And the new mounts up there have lifted everything, so I'm very tight right there. Not entirely sure how that's going to do, but because the motor's not bouncing around as much with the new mounts, I haven't heard it clank right there. I put in some sheet metal screws like that one right there and that one right there to kind of hold everything tight. Well, that moved this little apron piece right there, and it's too tight right there, so I banged a little bit of a notch out with a screwdriver. Looks ugly as hell, but hey, it's back there. You can't see it like this, right? What else? I nicked one of these AN fittings. I think it was this one. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on that right there. Make sure it doesn't blow oil. You know, I've got one of those little AN gaskets in this one, so I've got a supply of them. If I need them, I can fix it. Now over here, I had, of course, stuff down in there. That little stainless steel screen that sits across the top of the start of all the flow of gasoline, you know, down into all the jets and stuff. But it had little tiny bits of leftover screenage that stuck out, and a little piece of that screen was interfering with the floats. So I turned the car on, and in very short order I had gasoline flowing out of that little hole right there. And I immediately ran up to the front and turned it off, and I was like, I know what the heck's going on there. But that mod, you know, I popped it up, took the little cap inside, and I dremeled all the way around it, so it's very round now. It doesn't have any excess hanging out, but I'm going to have to do the same thing to this one right here. I'm just going to wait till the car cools off to get that one done. Let's see, did I have any other issues? But it's like every time you pull the fan in and out, it's like you think that it's going to rub against the housing, but it seems to have survived this install without rubbing the housing, so that part's good. Took me a while to find the... Geez, why do I keep forgetting the name of this thing here? Anyway, my spark provider. I keep wanting to say distributor. So anyway, I have all my tools over here and whatnot, right? And I'm just looking around going, where the heck did everything go? Because if it's not in that pile, it has to be over here in this pile, with that being part of the pile. But anyway, it turns out that the lid was open, and it was sitting under the lid. So it showed up today, got all the wires back in, looks like everything's wired up properly. My initial set on the idle appears to have been freaking perfect, if you can believe it. You know, it may idle up a little bit high, but I launched it and it's right at 750. And it's smooth, which means what the modifications that I did over here, taking that screw and cranking it down, worked. So I can now take this side and I can turn it down and I can turn it up, so it will actually modify, so I can balance properly now. Of course, everything being clean, you would expect it to, you know, be balanced, assuming that you've got things in the ballpark. I mean, I'm going to have to rerun the process. I may get out my multi-vacuum balancer and take a look at it, but I'm going to get in here and make sure the airflows are okay. What else do I need to do? One of these days I got to get some caps for these guys over here. That stuff turned to powder and I've never replaced it. My belt may be too tight. I think it is. I think I'm going to have to pull one of my spacers out and pop it in there. That's an easy one. I can do that later. The fan shroud. Of course, I posted a bunch of stuff on the fan shroud, but sorry, not the fan shroud, the cooling shroud, my oil cooler shroud. Boom, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Got good stuff in there. What's going on this side? That's that guy on the right. Yeah, that guy's good. I had 4 screws holding it in place. I decided to put 2 more in, just for the heck of it. But I've only got one end at the bottom. But it's just a shear screw. All it has to do is hold it from sliding in and out this direction. It doesn't do anything else. Other than that, it's all held in place by the the fitment around the wood blocks over here, which incidentally I painted silver so that they would look a little bit better, I think, than just a piece of wood. The plywood that goes around the outside, I painted black so that it would not be noticeable, and I don't think it is. The entire fan, not fan, but the cooler, I took the entire cooler and moved it this direction. I don't know how far, it's about an inch further that direction. But what that means is that the oil lines are now too long. I had them a little extra long before, now they're really too long. So I may at some point, we'll see how it goes, decide to take the lines and, you know, chop an inch or two off of them, redo them. I don't know. Of course, I got to put the linkage back on. I was going to play around with the idle, but if the idle is pretty decent, I may as well put the linkage back on. I don't know if there's anything else. I just got to keep an eye on it for oil leaks and gas leaks, but everything right now seems to be okay. That's good. That one's not leaking. Nothing else is pulled apart, really. These guys are holding in. Good. Yeah, I gotta tighten that one down a little bit more. It's not tight enough. Sounds okay too. Did I not crank it up? Let's crank it up real quick here. Stick the head in the window. The little single barrels, you know, they just vibrate. But it certainly doesn't bounce around like it used to. Well, those new mounts are much more powerful. Very nice. Off the jack stands. Wheels are on. Got the other one fixed. The other little stainless steel screen fixed over here. And putzed with the idle a little teeny bit. Got the flow meter out. Balanced them out a little tiny bit. I think I had a little bit too much flow on this side over here. So cut that back. Played with the mixture screws a little tiny bit. Seems to be pretty solid. Same amount of power coming out both left and right. If I get the linkage hooked up, I could take it out for a ride, but it's wicked hot with the sun coming in like this, so maybe not today. Sun's going down over the houses behind me. I think I will install some linkage now. Okay, fresh day. I have, of course, installed the crossbar. Been puttering around trying to get the balance right, which the idle is pretty darn good. You tap this a little tiny bit, you get a little movement to the left and a little movement to the right, so the balance is pretty good. Won't really know for sure until I turn it on, and you go very low throttle settings and see if there's an imbalance. What else did I do? Alright, I've got my return spring in here, and plenty of force in the return spring, but I altered the way I mounted it because I didn't want it scraping up my nice paint job. So I have, not that you've noticed this, I took a piece of baling wire and I wrapped it around here, looped it over, and then bent a hook into it right there. And now the hook simply ties in. That's not going to go anywhere. Occasionally it used to vibrate loose. It would just stuck under there, wasn't enough to keep it in place. But it's not going to go anywhere now. This side over here never comes loose. Oops, that never comes loose. That's locked in there really, really tight. Let's see. Anything else? I don't think so. Let's turn it on and see how balanced it is. About right. good low throttle balance. Shuts off and stabilizes. That's good. Still don't have the throttle hooked up, obviously. I've been playing around here. Hey, who's ready to go fishing? Check it out. Oh, I got a monster over here. Might have to put that in a bucket. Alright, we got that tightened up. Let's undo full throttle up here. Oh, nice. There. No full throttle. Make sure the back end of everything has worked out okay. And are we back to no throttle? Let's see here. Yep. I'm going to have to tighten the gas pedal another notch. Okay, one extra notch on that guy right there. That's what it's supposed to feel like. That's right. Perfect. Alright, maybe some air filters and a test drive. I will put it to you one more time. Who takes their car out for a tootle after they've done a repair? Alright, filters on. There and there. I got the breather reinstalled. Full throttle seems to be okay. I can't go very far. Don't have my license plate on, but I can certainly go around the block. Alright, you see how that muffler sits kind of angled funny? And I know that I bought the muffler independent of that particular header. The original muffler blew out. And that muffler is really, really old. And as I've been cleaning it up, I get the feeling I purchased a stainless steel muffler. It's like no rust on it at all. And boy, it'd be nice if I had a header that mounted it properly so that it didn't look kind of stupid as it like kind of ran off at an angle right there. But anyway, hey. Time to get in, crank it up. Let's try again. Probably attempt to try again. Oh, the blasting, blinding lights. Like bang as I go out the Not bad. Well, that wasn't bad. I have to make sure the idle hangs in there when the motor gets warmed up. I think that's about it. Yeah, it's a little bit low. I'll have to pick it up a little bit. 2 years. Okay, my nephew's going to take it around the block.
We'll see.
Sister's here with the nephew. He's trying to figure the transmission out. Oh, what's that? Yeah.
There we go. Oh, jeez.
You found reverse. Good.
I've driven a bus before.
Okay.
For a while.
I'm gonna go get a beer.
No, we learned
Okay.
In reverse. Touchy.
It is. No, back it up a little bit. You got to back up. Got to have it over the board.
More? A little more.
Yeah, it's good.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, don't smack the other car though.
Yeah, hold on. Wow. I can't get out of it.
Not the biggest car in the world, you know.